y'all, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today I'm going to be telling you guys about my 21-week pregnancy update. I am almost 22 weeks, getting close. Currently 21 weeks and 6 days. If you can't tell, mom brain is hitting hard. So, baby, according to my app, is currently the size of a banana, weighing in at 7 inches and 11 ounces, though I had an ultrasound last week at my 20-week appointment, and they said that baby was weighing in at 12 ounces. So, I guess we are either right on track or a little bit ahead of schedule. Not complaining either way. So, I've got like a list of things I've been writing down to talk to you guys about. First one is feeling the baby move every day. The movements are definitely getting stronger, and like I said, feeling them every day, which is good because for a while there I would go days on in between feeling them move, and that always kind of freaked me out. So now that I'm feeling them every day consistently is pretty awesome. I don't know that I can necessarily keep up with kick counts. I mean, I guess if I had to, I could. But they definitely start their movement more in the late afternoon to evening time, and then I'll feel them move all the way up until I go to bed, and then sometimes they'll even wake me up in the middle of the night from kicking. So yeah, I'm not really feeling a whole lot during the day, but on my baby app it said that your baby typically sleeps about 14 hours a day in total, not consecutively, but they do sleep about 14 hours a day. So I think that my little one is probably sleeping mostly during the day and awake a lot at night is my guess. So, sciatic nerve pain has reared its ugly head. I was hoping to be much further along in my pregnancy before I started having the sciatic nerve pain, but it's come on early, which sucks. Sciatic nerve pain is never fun. If you don't know what that is, you have a nerve that runs through like your leg / butt area. I'm trying to sound all smart. All I know is where it hurts. But the pain can be anywhere from your butt and your hip to down your leg, and it is like a sharp stinging pain that makes it hard to stand and walk. Thankfully I haven't had too much sciatic nerve pain yet, but it has happened. Typically it'll come on me at like the end of a long work day, and it's not fun, you guys. It is not fun. It makes it hard to stand, makes it hard to walk. I just want to lay down. It's not a good time. It's not a good time at all. So still cramping. I don't cramp as much as I did during my first trimester and the first part of my second trimester, but I will still get cramps, especially if I do too much standing at work. Though I have noticed that really subside a lot and I can stand more at work. Again, as I've mentioned, I've had to get a stool for my job because I have to stand for 6 hours, or at least I'm supposed to, and I had to get a doctor's note and a waiver for a stool, and now I'm getting to the point where like if I want to stand a little bit I can, and it's not affecting me like it was earlier on in the pregnancy, but if I overdo it I do start cramping. And to go further with that, I've also noticed that I also have more leg pains. That's not necessarily sciatic nerve related, but like my legs will just feel extremely sore after work. And that's even if I spend a good deal amount of time sitting that day, like my legs are still sore. So definitely starting to have a lot more energy. I don't even feel pregnant half the time. Like as long as I take it relatively easy and I don't overdo it causing cramping, I feel like I have a lot of energy to get things done. But I feel like this is the part of pregnancy where like it's good and it's bad, because like you have more energy to get things done, which is awesome, but like you also are kind of like on a weight restriction. You're not really supposed to lift more than 30 pounds. And so like there's a lot that I want to get done and take care of, but like there's some heavy lifting involved. So like for example, our Christmas tree needs taken down to the basement, and we haven't done that yet, and I physically can't do it. Like physically I could probably do it, but like I'm not supposed to do it, you know, like the box is more than 30 pounds. So it's just been sitting in our living room and it's January. So things like that. There's some yard work that needs done that like I have time during the day to go do, but like I can't physically do it, you know, because heavy lifting, and there's just things like that. So it's kind of annoying. You have the energy to do it, but then like you're on weight restriction, which kind of puts a damper on some chores that need to get done, I guess. And last thing here on my list of things I've had written down is body odor. I talked about this quite a bit my first trimester because I was really struggling with body odor, specifically with my right armpit. It seemed like no deodorant I used worked. Left armpit was fine. It had its life in order. Right armpit was just lost and confused. Didn't know what was going on. That seems to have come back. Like, I had quite a bit of an issue with that in the first trimester, and then it kind of stopped as I slid into my second trimester, but now we're heading out of the second trimester, and it's an issue again. Though I've noticed this past week it's not as bad, so I don't know if I just had a hormonal spike or what, but like, nothing was working for my right armpit. Like, I swear, as soon as I get out of the shower, I would already be starting to smell again, like with my right armpit. Left armpit was fine, never been an issue. Right armpit causes all the problems. And like, no deodorant. I've tried all naturals, I've tried men's, I've tried Secret Clinical, like nothing can control this. So that's lots of fun. Also body hair, like things are going crazy. I mean, at least it's winter time, so it don't really matter, but like everything is growing. Some good, some not so good, but everything is growing. What else? So I did mention that I had an ultrasound recently. That was my 20-week scan, and that is when they do the growth scan. They just make sure that everything on baby is growing really well. This is also the time when you can find out the gender. So before we get to the good stuff, which you will be disappointed by, everything is growing really well with baby. As I mentioned, they're weighing in at about 12 ounces, and everything is looking perfect. However, we were not able to find out the gender because the baby was in the fetal position with their feet crossed under their bum and refused to move. And my ultrasound technician even had me go empty my bladder while I was in the bathroom. Like, I was like poking my belly and jumping up and down and wiggling around and trying to get the baby to move. And then we went back in for the ultrasound to like check again, and the baby was in the exact same position. And I'll tell you what, this little booger, as soon as I got out of the ultrasound room and into like my, like, what do you want to call it? Like, you go from like your ultrasound room to like the room you have your doctor's appointment in. So whatever that room would be called, as soon as we got in there, the baby started moving. I could feel it. And like through my whole ultrasound, I wasn't feeling the baby at all, which was kind of freaking me out. And like my ultrasound technician, she was nice, but she was very curt, and she kind of had an air of like, I don't want to be here attitude, which I get that with my job all the time. I'm like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to deal with people. So I understand everybody has bad days, but like, she didn't talk to me a whole lot during the ultrasound scan. Just every now and then she'd be like, this is the heart, or this is the bladder, or like, I was kind of on pins and needles until she actually showed the heart and put on the heartbeat. But like, we went the entire ultrasound scan, which probably took, I'd say a good 10-ish plus minutes, and she was very, very quiet, and the baby wasn't moving, and I was freaking out. My mind went to bad places. Like, I was freaking out. But then she's like, this is the heart, and then put on like the heartbeat, and you could hear it, and I was like, oh, thank goodness. But anyways, yeah, like, she just, I don't know. She wasn't the warmest of people, and I don't know where I was going with that. Again, mom brain. But anyways, wasn't able to find out baby gender, but we have to go back in the end of the month for another ultrasound because they can't determine a due date just yet. They say it's on their end that everything with baby is growing fine and the baby is healthy, and so not to worry, but that they're having a hard time pinpointing my due date because we've jumped around so much, because they first had me on like May 13th, and then they jumped to like May 20th, and now we're like May 25th, and so they want to check it one more time just to make sure where we're at. And I think a big part of that is because I'm going to be having a repeat C-section. So typically with a repeat C-section, you go in at 38 weeks for your C-section. Full term is at 37 weeks, and they typically won't let you go past 40 or 41 weeks if you're going to try to have a vaginal birth. But of course, when you're having a C-section, you don't want to go into labor on your own. So anything past 37 weeks, like, they're not going to try to stop you if you go into labor, but it's not always likely that you'll go into labor at 37 weeks. However, since I have to have a repeat C-section, if I showed up at the hospital in labor, that would be an emergency C-section, which is going to be way worse than having like a planned C-section. Does that make any sense? So I feel like this is why they're putting so much emphasis on getting the due date right and making sure that we're not going too late or too early. It's a lot. So I think that's everything for my 21-week update. So let's have a look at the belly. Okay, so this is my belly at 21 weeks pregnant at head on, and then here we have it at the side. Definitely starting to show a little bit, getting a little rounder right down in here. Something I have not mentioned is that I have gained a total of 4 pounds so far in this pregnancy. So I think I'm doing pretty good. But yeah, that's what we're looking like. Definitely getting a little bit rounder, looking more pregnant. Okay guys, so that is everything for my 21 weeks pregnancy update. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you're interested in any of my past weeks for this pregnancy, I can leave a link to a playlist down below, along with the playlist to my first pregnancy if you're interested in going that far back. I can leave that playlist as well. Again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you do subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.